cherry tomatoes, red, okras, purple cabbage. This is the end result of the volcanic ash. I lost a whole bed of Chinese cabbage and Chinese cabbage and lettuce. It's depressing, but I got to leave it. And then hot peppers, basil, 5 different types of basil. I can't get the 5 names now. And Chinese cabbage, specialty lettuce.
And these are peppers over here?
Yeah, hot peppers. And they come out every day and they check for these little critters. They come and they lay the eggs, and then they come back and they eat all your cabbage, all your Chinese cabbage. This is mint. 2 different varieties of mint. If you can see the difference. This is one variety, and this is the other. Can't tell you which is which though. Those are cabbage. Flavor peppers, sorrel, strawberries.
No, strawberry.
Yes.
Welcome to Spotlight in 5, the program in which we turn our attention to the residents of Hillaby, St. Thomas, St. Andrew, and particularly those who exemplify productivity and creativity. This afternoon we are pleased to have with us Marcia Griffith, and we just had a tour of her garden plot, and now we're going to have a brief chat with her. We're standing on the crest of the hill overlooking the plot. A year ago this hillside was full of bush and grass and shrubbery, and you can have an insight of what used to be a little bit to our left. You all right? But an amazing transformation has taken place. And so we want to share this amazing transformation with you. Marcia, tell me how this started for you.
During the lockdown last year, I started at the back of the property. And I spent the 3 months that I was home, I was out there. But then when I went back up to work, the monkeys took a toll on me. They reap everything except the okras and the hot peppers. So when we locked down this year, I decided, I don't know how long this is for. This was all, it used to be lawn. People used to come, neighbors used to come and tie the sheep and the cows and whatever on the lot, and they would cut it as time go by. But then I decided, this is a waste. Let me do something about it. So last year when I was doing this little area here, I got the bobcat guy to push it off. And then I started the 2 garden beds. And over the period of time, I would come up with the rock and I would cut it. So when we locked down, I decided, I'm home, I got nowhere to go. They say I gotta stay in your confines of your space. So let me start to do this. And I started a little piece. I used my specialty tool, a patch. And I started to, and everybody would be like, what are you doing? I only see you every day. So then I started to, because the land is elevated, most people did not realize what I was doing, because what I did is let the grass at the bottom get tall. So when I cleared off the last little piece and I started to go down, people started to stop, busmen started to stop and go like, sweetheart, I was see over here every day. I was thinking to myself, well, she basically she think all I see is grass. So then I was like, let me do the garden at the bottom. I did a little flower garden at the bottom, so everybody used to admire that. But then when I finished cleaning off the area with the grass that was tall, like how here is, that people can actually see the garden. I'm really encouraged, because even my neighbor on the other side, he told me about, I got this spot here too, it's just as much space as yours, but I don't have the income. I said just start with a little piece, do a little piece today, come out and do a little piece, and then you can come out in your garden and you can cut your fresh herbs, and you can, because now the only thing I buy from the supermarket is carrots. I haven't bought orchids in a long time. I haven't bought, there's so many things. So I went and I registered as a farm, and every time I reap, I sell some of the stuff to help pay my water bill. And I started an irrigation system with the rainwater. I bought a tank, and so I got water when there's no water from Water Authority. And I bought 3 watering cans, so I put the hose onto the tank, because I don't have no money to buy no irrigation. And I've started to, I had cucumbers and stuff planted, but the monkeys was my main enemy, is my enemy. So what I've done, I'm only planting things the monkey don't eat. I plant enough cucumbers for myself and that I can share with others. I don't, beans when I plant, I cover everything with net. They don't interfere with the cabbage. They only break the orchids, and the orchids get old because they eat the seeds. But once they're soft, they have on prickles, and the monkeys don't like the things. So now many monkeys, they're my enemies no more, they're not my friends. So because I planting things now that they don't eat. They don't eat Chinese cabbage, they don't eat lettuce, they don't eat romaine lettuce, they don't eat purple cabbage. None of them things they don't interfere with. But the snails, so I'm working over these to alleviate the snails. And it's not the African snails that is the problem, it's the snails that actually are normal, what the snails that we are accustomed to, and the little ones that live in the ground with the shells. Those are, but I do not use no pesticides. I go every day and try to look. Now that I've gone back out to work, I go out, I try to go early in the morning, but now that my granddaughter has gone back to school, I can't do the early morning, so I try to come home on evenings and do a little bit, and the day I'm off, and on Sundays if I don't go to church, I go out early in the morning or in the evening, when the sun goes down, because this sun now is an issue. I go out in the evening and I do a little bit.
Tell me what your hours are like normally. How many hours you spend?
When it was not, when we were on lockdown, I would be out here on mornings from 5:30 and until so it gets dark.
Okay.
Because I come up with a plan to do something, but then you get sidetracked. Right. And I go like, I want to do this, I want to do that. So now my aim now for the month of June is the area there that has the grass that I never got to do. This area here I'm not worried about, because when I come up with the rock and I cut that down, but that's a different story there altogether. I want to put squash and things with vines, but I gotta dig up the white cane roots, and the white cane roots is a problem. But once you get on the other side of me, I started to clean that area as well, so that I can put I have fig trees. So I trying to, because it's a 20-foot drop. And some of it is elevated and some is just a drop. So I try to clean it, but a lot of the area has not been cleaned, so I could plant like squash and pumpkins, so that I can share with my neighbors, because you don't know, I have people that will pass and ask me for stuff, when you're selling things, they'll be like, if I buy 100 cabbage, and I paid $20 for 100 cabbage, and I took 12, 10 cabbage and get about my $20. I can give away the rest. I can bless somebody else with something
That's what community is about.
You know, because one evening I was out here and the lady was asking me to stop, and she said, you know, I was walking your guys all the time. Will you put to your time? I was like, can I give him a secret? Can I give him a secret? Anyway, I told her what I did, and I gave her, I was putting the Chinese cabbage. This was right after we had all the ash. I was putting the Chinese cabbage, and I gave her some Chinese cabbage. And the guy came up and he had a trunk full of carrots, and he was giving me the carrots. And he ended up with 10 or 12 Chinese cabbage. I said, well, just give these to who? And I ended up with 4 packs of carrots that I have. I kept 2 and I give away 2. You know, so it's all about sharing. We have to get back into what our foreparents used to do. Because you could not go at my grandmother's house and leave empty handed. She would, even if it's bread, if she got bread, she would give me. If she got food, she could get a few. You know, but I find now it's all about me. But there's nothing about, you know, sharing. And as I tell people all the time, you're not gonna stop me from getting my blessings, because what God has for me, nobody can get it from me. So what I have, I'm going to share. It's not. You know, everything has a price. Yeah. Everything is for sale, but everything has a price, but everything is not for sale on my own.
Looking back at this, what pleases you most? What strikes you most? What do you think about most?
My grandfather used to. This was agricultural land before I turned it into residential lot, and. No, my grandmother died in 1977, the 1st of March 1977. And she laid her hands on me before she died. And she passed her blessings on to me. And I can say that, seeing this used to be cane ground, potatoes. My brothers used to do it before me, like 30 years ago. But it is a feeling that I can't explain to nobody. But when I drive in, when I reverse in and I stop and I look, you know, at what my hands have done and what God has given me the energy to do. Because when I started, I remember one morning I started and I was like, God, you gonna rain? I was like, God, why you doing this? I said, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, give me a little rain. I was talking to my apostle at church about it. And she said, and what happened? Apostle Sandra, that night we had rain from about 10 o'clock right down through to about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was able to get up and come out. And then the next day I came out, and that morning I came out and I worked, and I was like, Lord, you know, something I get to the point where I'm like, I ain't going out there today. I ain't going out there today. But then when I wake up in the morning, God has been talking to me on like, saying you can't sleep. No, Marcia, you can't like rest. You got to continue. You got to persevere. That little voice there telling you to don't get up and come out that devil. So I just get up every morning and rebuke he in Jesus' name. I just rebuke before you go sleep. But when I sleep in the night, hear it whispering things, I just rebuke he, and let's get up and let's come out here and let's do what I got to do. So it's a good feeling, and when I can pack bags. When I packed bags, I carried for my apostle. And he said to me, Marcia, who do this? I was like, me, I do this. Every day. I said, if you don't see me, if church starts at 8:30 and you don't see me in church, you know that I am a garden. I am doing, and I want to get the whole lot, because it's an acre and 3/4. Excuse me. I have more space at the back than I have at the front. But I want to get hair sorted. I was gonna cut the grass today, but I don't have that feeling. So I can get somewhere to come, cut it, and don't have to worry about that. And I can deal with my gardens. I feel great. I feel great. I had a breadfruit tree down there, and I could never get a breadfruit off it. And they say you're supposed to cut down fruit, but I had to cut it down because it just gave me work, and everybody's picking breadfruits. So I feel good now that I have it back to the point where I can feed myself and I can feed others.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Not only has Marcia created this bright spot in Farm Park, but the ripple effect has been passed on to neighbors. Pastor and Sister Watson across the road started theirs. Arnold down the road started his. So this is bringing about change in the community in a meaningful way. And so we want to thank you so much, Marcia, for taking the time to be with us. And we hope that your work and your effort will in fact inspire others to make similar efforts and make sure that the land around them is utilized in the best possible way. So thank you so much, Marcia.
You're welcome.
So on behalf of my technical team, Kyle, and we want to say goodbye later.